We're going to do a fast action review of Pythagorean theorem. Yes, that a squared plus b squared equals to c squared that everybody's known and grown to love. You betcha. So just like before, put your eyeballs down. Of course, this is your hypotenuse. And you know in the Pythagorean theorem, that actually refers to side C. So which one is A, which one is B? It doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to say A is this one, B is that one. It does matter on the hypotenuse. You'll figure that out as we go. Now, let's do it. A squared would mean this one be squared. This is B squared. That be squared. Sum them together. So our A squared plus B squared equals C squared means 2.5 squared plus 3.7 squared equals to c squared. And you can do this in a very nice select way on your calculator here. You can do it very, very nicely in your calculator. Watch this. 2.5 squared. Oops. Didn't go 2.5. There we go. 2.5. There it is. Squared plus 3.7 squared. Hit that. And then what you have to do is you have to square root this whole thing in order to get the answer, because if you remember, c is squared, so you're going to have to square root the final one to get the final answer. So we can go, watch this as a calculator thing. We can go second square root, and we want this answer here to be popped in here. Do you remember how to do it? I wonder if you do or not. You hit second and then answer, and it'll pop in there and give you your value of 4.46. So you don't have to write out 19.94 again. So you answer 4.465. Well, 4.5 is sufficient, okay? 4.5 centimeters. That is your hypotenuse. Now, let's look at the one over here, which is going to be slightly different because in this case now, the hypotenuse is given. How did I know that was the hypotenuse? Because I drew my eyeballs and I remember there's the hypotenuse right there. So that would make these two the legs. And again, it doesn't matter who's the adjacent and who's the opposite because I haven't identified an angle that I want you to deal with. The only thing I've dealt you was this 90-degree angle. So again, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. But this time we're going to try to find either the value of a or the value of b. Well, let's call this a. We know that this is the hypotenuse. That's got to be c. So let's start squaring these guys and see what happens. Here's 120 squared plus b squared equals to 122 squared. And we have to be able to solve for this. Well, easiest way to do this is you can either put the squared into your calculator right now or just do a little preliminary algebra to make sure that this thing works a lot easier for you. So you're going to subtract 120 squared from each side. That cancels there. And check this out. I need a little bit more space. Boom. Come on. There it goes. Okay. You're going to have b squared equals to 122 squared minus 120 squared. And then don't forget to square root it. So you can do this on your calculator now. It's set up just beautifully. Let's bring the calculator over. Okay. Clear. 122 squared subtract 120 squared. Gives you that value. Oops, I still have my 0 put up here. Let me get rid of this. Dun, da, da, da. Okay, and, right, second square root of the second answer and punch it. There it is. My b works out to be exactly 22. And in this case, do they give you a unit measure? Let's go back and check. They did, millimeters. So guess what? That's in millimeters. And that's your fast review of Pythagorean theorem. We are in the next podcast going to use Pythagorean theorem to solve a triangle with angles in it. Becomes really cool.